Hello there. I'm Scotty Gornut. Welcome back to March of the Living Dead 2, where we are now taking a look at Return of the Living Dead Part 2, which came out in 1988, 3 years after the first one. This is now directed by Ken Wiederhorn. And this one is more goofy than the other one. The other one had some serious moments. There was a lot of tension. The first one did. But this one, they focused more on the slapstick, funny comedy moments in this, and also, like, I want to say it's kid friendly. This movie's rated R, but there's like I could show this to my son and he'd be fine. Couldn't show him the first one. It's like blindfold him during the Linnea Quigley scenes, which is half the fucking movie. So never mind. Uh, he was saying, "What's going on?" Okay, they're running from the zombies. He said the last time. But yeah, when he's older, I'm sure. Um, but yeah, so the story here is that the military are taking a bunch of the trioxin away to a military facility when a barrel or two falls off the truck, thanks to the negligent driver. A few kids find the barrel and open it, and it causes the acid rain again to come down, and we have more zombies. And so one of the kids and his sister and the cable boy meet up with three grave robbers, two of which are played by James Karen and Tom Matthews, as they try to survive this zombie apocalypse that they have entered. So, so like I said, the tone in this movie is no longer as serious as it was in the first film. This is goofiness. And, okay, big fly, elephant in the room, fly on the wall, elephant in the room. Yes, they brought back Tom Matthews and James Karen to play different characters, yet the same characters. They're playing Ed and Joey respectively. James Karen is Ed, Tom Matthews is Joey. However, they are basically the same characters. They look different, but they don't act much different. Although there's a lot more crying and whining from them, especially Ed. That kind of gets on my nerves a little bit, but it's basically the same kind of process. They're doing something, gas gets leaked, they eventually turn into zombies. Tom Matthews goes after his girlfriend, but in this version, in this one, she dies. And she just like gives herself to him, basically. She gives up. Yeah. By the way, she's played by an actress that I've seen, and like she's not on the back of the thing. I don't remember the name. Elizabeth something. I want to say I don't know. She's been in Weird Science and a bunch of other stuff that I can name if I had a Wikipedia page in front of me. I should have wrote it down. But you see her, Suzanne something. Cryer. No, that's a different person. Suzanne something. She was in a lot of 80s movies. A lot of stuff that I had seen. But yeah. So we get Jesse, played by Michael, the kid from the Blob, and was actually hired to be Ben Seaver on Growing Pains, but then left the show, and then was on a stint on Beverly Hills 90210, was going to be on that show, and, well, actually, I think he was recast for Growing Pains, and he's going to be on Beverly Hills 90210, but then said no to Aaron Spelling, and that kind of ruined his career, so, yes, I think he was supposed to play Brian Austin Green's character, David. Actually, how I know that, but I do know. Anyway, Uh, so the two are grave robbing, right? They're doing all this stuff, and then um, the kids. First of all, you got this bully named Billy, right? Billy the bully. He has braces. What fucking bully has braces? Now I get the actor might have had braces. Then don't have him be the bully. No, I've never seen any bully anywhere except for this movie have braces. Bullies pick on kids with braces. They don't have braces. So that's someone like, no, that's not a bully. That's someone who get picked on by a bully. He's bigger, sure, but no. So he and this other kid are picking on the character Jesse. And so Jesse hands him a Spider-Man comic. He says, okay, you're in the club. And he's like, no. Then why hand him the comic? I don't know. But then we got a special clubhouse, and it's like a mausoleum or something that they're going to hang out in, or an old house. And he runs away. I think it's the mausoleum. But he runs away into a tunnel where they find the barrel of trioxin, which is the same as last time. It's a dead body in there with the trioxin gas in it, I guess. Which they never explain how they put bodies in there and they had the gas with them. They didn't explain that in the first one. I still don't get it. Like, they're supposed to be dead bodies they got from the original Night of the Living Dead outbreak, apparently. How is there the gas in there with them? Like, they never explain it in the first one. They don't go further into this. Maybe the third one they'll explain it, but I doubt it. I don't know. But they just so happen to punch in the right code, and it opened, and the gas comes out, and it's like, that is the laziest way to do this. Like, oh, he's just gonna put in a random code. Shouldn't it have already been broken? We saw in the first one that these drums, barrels are easy to break because all that. The hell's your name, dude? James Cameron's character. Jack. No. There was Bert. My brain is not better than bacon. There's Bert, Tom Matthews' character, and James Cameron's character. If I could figure out Tom Matthews' character's name was, you just did the fucking review a few hours ago, man. Ed. No. Freddie and Frank. Frank, he just hit the thing and the gas came out. So that thing toppled off a fucking truck and nothing happened until the accident. Why didn't you just say that it fell off the truck and it happened? Because you had the kids find it. They still could have found it. I don't know. But the gas comes out, rain comes down, you know the gist. The two are grave robbing. We get some reversal of the line where he's like, hey, calm down. You want this job? Want this job? You know, because that's from the first. I'm like, okay. And meanwhile, the girlfriend's outside waiting for him. So again, we got these two guys in there goofing around, doing lines and stuff. Not doing lines, saying lines to each other and talking. They're grave robbing this time, but before they're in a warehouse. And then the girlfriend is still waiting for the boyfriend, like in the first one. So, you know, it's very similar. But less serious. And so Jesse wants to call the military, the number on the thing, which he somehow memorizes because he calls it later. And the friends are like, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. Or the bullies, whatever. You're not going to do that. You're not going to tell anyone. So I lock him in the mausoleum. And then when the grave robbers come in, he gets out and goes home. But his sister has to be queen bitch because we got to, put us out to an 89-minute runtime. So she locks him in his room, but he gets out. She tells him to go do his homework, so he goes up there. He eventually gets out, and then the Cable Boy shows up, which is never mentioned in his Cable Boy. And what does she watch? Is she watching a tape or something? she's doing an exercise video, and yes, I can make the joke. She's watching Linnea Quigley's zombie exercise video, but I guess I kind of said it, but she actually had that. I don't know if it was at this point, but Cable Boy shows up and he's like, "Sorry, I'm late," and that's one of the most realistic things in this is the Cable. It always takes forever to get there, but yeah, so he's there to check on the Cable, and the brother gets out and goes down to where the barrel was, and he meets the new Tar Man. But not so many good effects. Not very good effects. They makeup on these zombies are not as good as the first one. That's a step down for me. It's not as good as the first one. That the makeup effects, and the Tar Man, he probably the worst looking one. And it's ironic because the Tar Man was the best looking one in the first one, and here it looks terrible. It's the same guy. It's the same guy in the costume, but it looks terrible. It looks terrible. But I guess they had to do it because when it first, when that zombie comes out of the barrel, that's the first one because it melts, whatever. But it looks terrible. It doesn't look very good. And apparently they're going to do effect when Jesse knocks him into the water. He's supposed to, dissolve and stuff, but they cut away from it. I guess New didn't like the effect, or they cut it from the movie. Who knows? Apparently, there's also a music thing with when the zombies are coming out, which looks pretty good, but they don't the makeup. Apparently the song on the DVD that I have is different than if you got the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is the original theatrical song, and they had a rights issue, and so it's different on the DVD. I've seen that before. You watch Supernatural on Netflix, and they changed some of the music in the early seasons. And even most recently, Charmed. I watched a bit of Charmed on TNT. My son was there, and I'm like, oh, the theme song's coming up. And it's the theme song that's on the Season 8 DVD. If you don't know, they used the original theme song for Charmed. And all the seasons on DVD, except for Season 8, apparently the copyright ran out, and you have this generic-ass music. And apparently, they used to have the regular music on TNT, but I guess they changed it, so now it's all the generic stuff, which kind of burns me up, to be honest. You know what burns me? Matches. Anyway, yes, so after he knocks the zombie in there, we get all the Tar Man into the water. We don't see him again. We get a bunch of the zombies. And you can kind of count, you'd probably be like, okay, this suit is not as good as the one in the first one, so let's get rid of him right away. That sort of thing. But, yes. So the other zombies rise up, and Jesse runs home and tries to tell his sister what's going on. She locks him in his room. So he starts a fake fire with smoke, whatever he does. He has, I don't know, gunpowder or something? I don't know, something that makes smoke. And then, at one point he runs out and he goes to Billy's house, where he sees that Billy is sick. Now, there's an inconsistency, because the people who get infected with the gas are coughing. They didn't cough in the first one. Billy, Ed, and Joey all cough at one point, and I'm like, no, they didn't cough in the last one. But they didn't cough. So they're actually like sick, but that's not what it did in the first one. So there's an inconsistency there, I think. But anyway, Jesse runs back to the house to tell them what's going on, because he tries to leave, and zombies and stuff. Meanwhile, the grave robbers, Ed, Joey, and the girlfriend, forget her name, Brenda, name's not Brenda. It is Brenda. That's from G.I. Joe Retaliation. But Brenda, they're running off, and they go by Billy's house, where the dad comes out with the shotgun, and they're like, you gotta go, you gotta run, and they end up going to, they meet up with Jesse. Jesse takes them to his house, and that's when the zombies break in there. And like, we gotta go to the hospital, we gotta go to the doctor's house. So they go to Doc, the Doc Mandel's house, which I thought was Bert from the first one. Like, oh, they recast him too? No, it's just the guy, to me, looks similar. This guy's even goofier. At one place, he had this face where he goes, I don't remember what the line was, but he's like, he's goof. He's a goof. I don't know. So they get in his cherry pristine car, which you can call Christine if you want to look similar, and they drive to the hospital, escaping zombies all the way. I need to mention the headless zombie. He gets stabbed with a screwdriver. Hit the screwdriver out of my head. Just shut up. Just shut up. And, Cable Boy throws her, the head, out the door. And somehow, by the end of this movie, it's at the power station where the ending takes place. They go to the hospital and there's nobody there. Now, in story, it's because we find out the military has somehow, without bumping into these characters, evacuated the town. But our main characters have not heard about it. I think it's because they had a budget and they couldn't hire any more extras besides what they had. So there couldn't be any townspeople, there couldn't be any other people. At one point they go to their grandfather's house and he's not even there, and they never explain what happened to him. So I guess you could say he was evacuated, but they hired all the extras to be zombies and then didn't have enough money to hire extras for the town, so that's it. You get Billy and his family, the other bully who disappears and then shows up as a zombie in the climax, and that's it. So we get the explanation we already know. They're dying. They're basically dead. And rather than try to do something, he wants to lock them up. And Brenda's like, no. And so they take off in a car, and much like the last one, Joey, Tom Matthews' character, turns into a zombie and wants to eat his girlfriend. And then she runs away, but then he gets up with her, and then she just lets him eat him. And despite the fact James Cameron didn't want to play a zombie walking around in the first one, he gets to do that here. Although I don't know to much extent, I don't remember seeing him after that, but yeah. Okay. Can we not? Okay. I just saw the Flash Super Bowl trailer thing pop up in my notifications. Can you not? Whatever happened to waiting till the Super Bowl to see the ads? I've already seen one that I know was supposed to be there. It was a one with John Travolta and the two guys from Scrubs that they kind of parody Grease. I heard about that one. That one's going to be in the Super Bowl. And then there was an ad on YouTube. They do this every fucking year now. That an ad pops up on YouTube and it's a big game spot or something. Wait to put them up until after the big game is over. Okay? Otherwise, there's no reason to watch the game. There are some people who just watch the game for the Super Bowl trailers, or the Super Bowl commercials. If you're posting them online or having them as ads for your videos online, it's completely fucking stupid. That's my little tangent on that. Now back to Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Until when I'm recording this, I'm gonna have nachos. Anyway, and yes, I'm watching the game. Oh no, the game already happened. Yay, that team won. Wasn't that a good game that team won? Oh, the other team, they didn't do it. Okay, I'm done. So where was I? Okay, so after that, the remaining three and the doc, they realize they can electrocute the zombies. So they try to escape and they're stopped by the military. No one leaves. You can plainly see that these people are not zombies. However, we need the film to keep going. So they go to the power station and then figure out a way to electrocute the zombies. They get the zombies to go there by throwing brains from the mortuary down there, which they're doing fresh brains. But apparently, and the doctor keeps saying it's fresh brains. And at one point, this is kind of redundant too. At one point, Jesse stands up to the bully, shoves the screwdriver in his mouth, and knocks him down, which, should kill him. At one point, he gets run over by the truck, and then he knocks him down there that way, and then he shows up later and gets electrocuted, and that's how he ends. Like, he stood up to the bully. That's all we needed to see, and then that kind of takes away when he just comes back. Not that we needed the bully being again. We can assume he didn't die, but still. So, yeah, they let you get everything, and they're able to walk free. The military comes in to take away the bodies, and we get one more comment from the zombie head. Come on, brains, and they electrocute it, or flamethrow it. And okay, no more brains, and it ends. This movie's not as good as the first one. I'm gonna say it's pretty good. I'm not going that far down on it, but damn it, wrong. I'm not going that far down in points for it, but I think it's still a good movie. But I just think it's not as good as the first. I think they went too over the top with the camp and made too much comedy to it, and I just think maybe they repeated too much from the first one without the coolness of it and the naked Linnea Quigley and everything. Just, and you don't need tits. You don't need tits in a movie. I was surprised there wasn't any. This was more kid friendly. Like I said, you could show it. If your kid likes horror movies, show it to him. You know what I mean? Like, there's no nudity in this. There's not even that bad of gore either. Also, there's a random ass Michael Jackson zombie that gets electrocuted towards the end, and I don't know. That can only be a nod to Thriller, but I don't know why it's in there. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on Return of the Living Dead Part 2? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.